kızı. I read A Man Called Nova very recently, and I can say that that is really a universal story that we can see coming to life on the big screen even today.
I would love to see that. The thing about Nova was at the same time I was writing Nova, I was writing Tomb of Dracula. So I was writing one of the oldest skewing books that DC had, and I felt that we were getting a little bit away from the Spider-Mans and Fantastic Four, which were big fun books. And I wanted to create a big fun book. And that was the purpose of Nova, was to go back to those early days of Marvel and try to find out why those books worked, and then not copy it, a brand new character, all new stuff, but understood what he did and then incorporated to this time period that the Nova came out in.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, the creation of the character, and you created so many. I feel today as a comic book reader that I don't know, like characters get created, but I don't think that they get momentum, so to speak. And I think a lot of times, publishers drop the ball on even some cool designs and concept. What, in your opinion, makes a character grow, keep that momentum, get standard in the comics?
I think before you start writing and drawing a comic, you really have to make sure who the character is. What does the character like? Why is this character unique? Are people going to like him? You sit down and you work out all of these details. You work out the backstory of the character, so there's going to be a lot that you could use over many years. Sometimes you may create a couple pages worth of notes that you won't use for 4 years, because you have to get to that point. You have to get to the point where Richard Rider is going to reveal to his parents who he is and that he's the Man Called Nova, but you're not going to see that for a year or two. But you have to know these things, so you are planting clues that things are going to keep going, and people are interested if they have an idea that you're creating something that's getting bigger or changing or moving. It's not going to be the same every single month. And they also like characters, essentially, that they have to like. Even a villain can be likable. I mean, you can really enjoy it. Deathstroke is, I think, one of the better ones that I've done, and he's certainly not a good guy, but you sort of like the
Definitely.
character because of what he is and his own senses. So it's important, I believe, to have a character that the readers can enjoy reading and not go, they're so disgusting. More like
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Even the bad guys.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, in one of my favorite parts on Crisis on Infinite Earths is Darkseid, actually. And obviously he's a very bad guy, but he has to play with the good guys right now. And I remember when they thank him for his help, he says one of the, I think, most badass quotes ever. You don't owe me nothing, but one day you will surely pay. That was like, yeah, I remember that fondly, that part of the comic book.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you created so much iconic characters, but are any of them based or influenced by the real life people, your family, colleagues, friends? And between all of them, who would be the one with whom you relate the most?
None of them are based on anybody. What I do is I sit down and say, what does the hero need to battle? Why is this character connected directly to the hero in some fashion? I'm not saying they are related or anything like that, but what is it about the hero and villain that they become sparring partners and make sense? All too often, people create a character, but there's no reason the character is in this book. It's just that they came up with a character, so they're going to put it in there. You need to actually figure out why this character is good for this hero. This villain is good. An example, to explain what I mean by all of this is I was writing Daredevil. I wrote it for about 2 years or 3 years, and I wanted to create a villain for Daredevil because he hadn't really had great villains in the past. They were all sort of bizarro type villains. But so I started to think, what is Daredevil's superpower? He has this thing called radar vision. He can sense when things are around him or attacking him or stuff of that sort. Spider-Man calls it Spidey sense. Daredevil had radar ability. Same difference. So how do you prevent Daredevil from knowing he's being attacked? If he could sense something, if he could sense a villain about to shoot him, how does Daredevil react? Well, what if you can create a character who could be a half a mile away? What if you create a character who Daredevil cannot see? Suddenly this character is unique and he's designed for Daredevil, as opposed to just a villain that appears in Daredevil.
We stay genuine, uncensored and unscripted, and we always will, as we have to order our usual. Share us and subscribe us, and stay tuned until the next Wednesday. Ikuzo!